Hello class, my name is Harry Isbell and I'm going to give you guys an overview of how to use the Windows Firewall here in Windows 7. There'll be a different tutorial when we get to Windows XP about the same topic, but basically what I want to show you guys is how you can open and close ports for an employer or a potential employer that you're going to be working for. You need to understand that you have to open up things according to the software that they're running. Sometimes we need to do a little bit of troubleshooting with that. I'm going to basically give you an overview of how to add a port, close the port, and then reopen the port again. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to do is go to Start. You may not see it in your view down there. Let me drag this down just a little bit. Excuse me. Let's click on Start. Type in Firewall. Whoops. And the first one is we're going to make sure that the firewall is actually turned on. So we want to click on Firewall by itself, or Windows Firewall. And to indicate that, if you look on here, you'll see that it's in green. This always generally means that the firewall is already turned on. So to confirm that, if you've never done it before, you want to click on Turn Windows Firewall On or Off. And you want to make sure that Turn On Firewall for home, networking, or private is turned on. Public location settings is also turned on for the Windows Firewall. Okay, let's go ahead and click OK on that, and let's go ahead and add a rule to our firewall. Well, you can't do it inside of here, so I believe you could do a couple of things. We might be able to click on Advanced Settings from inside of here. Let's see if it did. Good. So there's a couple of ways to go to this. You can go straight in here from this one, from the Windows Firewall by itself, and then click on Advanced Settings, and you can bring up the inbound and the outbound rule sets. Or you could come back and close it all the way down and go to Start, go to the command line and type in Firewall again. And you'll see that it come up also with Windows Firewall with Advanced Security. You'll click on that, bring it up, you'll want to go to the inbound rules, and we want to create, basically, just to make an overview of this, we want to block or unblock a web page. So the web page would be port 80 HTTP. So that would look something like this. Let's put it in Notepad so you guys can see it. So the port I want to block, which is Windows Explorer or getting onto the web, is HTTP, right? So and that port number always comes through the machine to view the page through port 80, and it goes out through port 80. So what we want to do is we want to block that. So to confirm that the web page works, I'm going to go to the internet now. And I'm just going to go to random page. Let's go to Google. Whoops. Open up the second page here. Let's go to Google. All right. We're in Google now. So we can confirm that we're on the web. So let's go ahead and close this website out. And let's go ahead and block the inbound and the outbound ports. So under inbound rules, I want to highlight it and I want to right click on it and go up to new rule. So I'm going to select port is what I want to block. And then I'm going to click next. And I want to block a TCP/IP port, and the specific port number is port 80. I want to go next again, and I want to block all ports to the communication, no connection to it whatsoever. So I want to check block the connection. Let's go down here and click on next, and then I have all the domain, the private, and the public checked. Let's click next again, and I want to do this one blocking. Oops. Port 80. So this is the easy way to do it. Blocking the web, HTTP port 80. So let's go ahead and click OK on that. You can give it a description in here. It's a good idea to do that, so then the other technician that may come in after you on the corporate network, they'll know that, you know, where you're at, why was the reason why you put this, you wanted to block it. This one's just for lab purposes, so we're going to leave it blank. Let's click Finish. And you'll notice that this is blocked by the little X going through it. So we're still not finished. We have to go to the outbound rules. Right click on the outbound rules and go to new rule. And we want to click on port again and click next. We want to type in port 80. And let's click next. And let's block the connections by default. Click next. Public, private, and domain. Click next. And same thing again. Whoops. Whoops. For the web. Okay. I'm going to leave it blank again. And you'll notice that it's actually edited itself right here on the top by the little exclamation point. So I can go ahead and close this out. Hang on just a sec here. All right, now we have both of them blocked for outbound rules and inbound rules. You'll see them right here at the top. So I've made my own little custom wording for it. It really doesn't matter. Oh, looks like I made a mistake on this one. Let's edit it. Double click on it. Let me change that to just port 80, just so you can see that you can modify them on the fly. And that's just basically something to know what it's for. Okay. So let's go ahead and try to get on the web. Let's find out what happens as soon as I try to get on that website. Open up the web browser. Automatically, everything's blocked. Can't get on there. Nothing goes on there either. Let's try Yahoo. Nothing. Nothing works at all. So let's go back in the web browser. Now I don't have to delete it to disable it, but what I can do is I can just disable it, just right off the bat. Let's disable this rule. Let's go to the inbound, right click on it, disable the rule. You'll notice how it kind of grays out there. So let's go back, try to get on the web. Then I'm back in. And just that easily, I can turn it on or off. If I want to enable it again, right click on it, enable rule. Go to outbound, sorry, right click on it, enable rule. Back on again, let's go back to the web. Try to click on anything that's on here, and it crashes. As for example, let me try to go to a new website. Nothing. Oops. Oh. Still doesn't work. Completely down. So you guys kind of get an overview of how to set up the firewall, how to block ports and add ports to it. This is exactly how you do it. Now normally what's going to happen is all the ports are going to be closed right from the bat. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to search for the port that the program that you're using. So for example, you loaded Yahoo Messenger. Yahoo Messenger is going to have a port that it needs to have open to be able to communicate on the internet. And to do that, what you need to do is download the software program itself, whatever you're using for chat, video game, whatever it is you're doing. You need to download that program, and what you need to do is use either the Wireshark that we've used here in the class to be able to detect the port that's blocked, or you guys need to do something in the effect of using like the Angry IP scanner, see what kind of port it's trying to communicate on the web, or you can go to Start, type in CMD at the command line, and you can type in netstat-a, and you can see possibly what the port is that it's trying to connect. See if we can see anything on here. Definitely don't see anything that is of help at the moment. I do see some other ports that are open though, right here on this list. Let's just see. If I turn back on the firewall here, let's disable this rule. Let's disable this rule. Let's go back to the web here. Like go to Google or something just to make sure that it's different. And let's go back to this. Let's do another netstat-a. See if we can find that port on there. I don't see it on there on this one, but yeah, I don't see it connect on here anywhere. But we do know that port 80 is working. Okay, so the best way is probably going to be to use the Wireshark or the Angry IP scanner. That might be at least an indication. There's also a program called Nmap. Nmap can also show what's available in the ports. Well, let's go to a program called Nmap. Okay, Nmap can be a program that you can use to actually scan the computer to see what's actually running on it. So let's give that a shot. Oops, type that in the typo. Let's type in the word Nmap. Right? Free security scanner for network exploration and security. Let's try it out. Let's download it. Take a look at it right here. Let's download the program. Let's see, where is it on here? Don't see a map on here anywhere. Let's see. Where is the Windows version? Oh, here it is. Download. And where is the Windows version of this on here? I see the Unix version here, which is this where you make it, see root. This is something we could also use inside of Ubuntu. So let's kind of go down here. Windows source code completion. Where is the install program for Windows? take a look here. Hang on here just a second. Let me find it. Oh, here it is. It's the Nmap GUI. So let's go ahead and download that portion of it. Here it is, the Nmap download page. Man download page. Here, this looks like it. Yes, I can see some of the interfaces for it. Yes, that looks great. Let's go back here. I didn't realize it was going to be this hard to download. Reference book, install guide. Now here's where the download page was. It was all the way, the Windows version is all the way down here at the bottom. So let's take a look. You want to go to the Nmap page, go to the download page, pull it pretty much almost down to the bottom of the page, and here's the Windows version of them. There it is right here. So development probably isn't unstable. Let's use the stable version. Let's download this one, save it to our desktop. Well, it looks like there's two versions. There's the zipped version, and then there's also an executable version, which is right here. Might need to download both. Okay, I downloaded two versions here. One is the zip version, which I believe is just you're going to run the program, or it's binaries with inside of it, meaning they're executable programs. Let's try the one that's a download a full program version of it. Let's give that one a shot. Download it here. And so, oh, you know what? Let's go over one other thing here. Get in the habit on Windows 7 to start running things as administrator, even if you know that it is selected. So what you want to do is you want to right-click on it and run the item as administrator. That prevents any permissions problems, any files that it's trying to update. It has the rights to do it on your computer. So let's go ahead and run it as administrator. Answer yes to it. Let's agree. Next. Next again. Going ahead and installing it. Takes a few seconds here. Let's see, WinCap, is this doesn't exist on the system? Uninstall that version first. Oh, when we installed Wireshark, it's asking me to uninstall that version of it. So if we want to use Nmap, we're going to have to uninstall the component for Wireshark. So let's go ahead and do it. Looks like it's completed. Let's click next. Create a desktop folder. And let's go ahead and run it. Let's see what happens if we just scan this computer. Alright, target. Let's give the host name of this particular computer. Type in CMD. Host name. And this is quite a lengthy username on here. I don't know why I did that. So I'm going to use the tool to go into Start here. Go to Edit, Mark, highlight it, and copy, edit, copy it. Okay, let's go back in here and post in, hit Control V, and we can bring up the PC here, and let's scan it. See what we have open as ports on here. Now look at these random ports that we have open on here. There's quite a bit. Wow. This computer has quite a bit of ports open on it. Look at these numbers, class. So something that I want to address is definitely there's quite a bit of them open on here. Let's see. Also, we can see port 80 is open too. That's so we can get on the net, correct? So just randomly, you guys were wondering, why would you block a particular port? So am I using port 26 on this computer? Probably not. So if I want to try to secure my computer up, I want to generally close that. So just to try it out, here's an example. Let's go to Start and go to the command line and type in Firewall. Whoops, I didn't mean to hit enter on that, but let's go back to it just so you guys can see it. Type in Firewall. Okay, and let's go to a Windows Firewall with Advanced Security, and let's pick one out. We're going to close port 26. So to confirm that that port is closed, let's create both an inbound and outbound port. So let's right click, go to New Rule, and we want to do a port, and we want to click Next, and that was port 26, and I want to block it, and I want to make sure domain, private, and public are checked. I'm just going to say that this is port 26 because I'm not using it. Let's click Next. Go to the outbound rule sets. Go to New Rule. Go to Port. Next. Specific port. Yes, it is. And it is port 26. Let's go to Next. All ports are all connections are blocked. Private domain. Let's click Finish on that one, and you notice that I have this one implemented both on inbound and also outbound rule sets. So let's go back and let's scan again and see if this one disappears. Let's scan. Let's go back up the list here. And I still see that it's responding on the server as well. So is my firewall turned on? Looks like it's blocked. I see it there. Let's see, is my firewall still turned on itself? Yep, I still see it implemented. Let me close down the scanner. Okay, let's copy the computer name here. So I have to type it in. Copy it, let's close it down. Let's close down the firewall here. Make sure I can get on the net. Make sure everything is still working. Let's go ahead and scan port 26 again. Now this may not work quite this way. I may have to do something else like this. I may have to scan the computer from the outside what I'm trying to get to see if it's actually open. So that means I have to log on to another computer and scan it for port 26. To explain what I mean by that is probably what's happening here is that the port itself, okay, I'm using the same computer to block the port, and I have to use this program called Nmap, Nmap GUI. I have to use this program to scan an external computer. So I need to use this computer to scan the one that's open and then secure it and then try to scan it again. What's happening is I'm scanning the same one from behind the firewall, so it of course thinks that the firewall is still open. That's probably why we're getting so many responses from it. So, and if that makes sense. So I'll give you an example. Here in the lab, let's go back to Nmap. There it is, it added it on there. If I, for example, do this, if I scan student server 1, now scan it, you guys know that I put that drive on there and I set things up for you. Discovered port open, it's telling me what's open on it back there. It says this, complete stealth mode scan, lapse. Okay, it looks like on the back computer that we possibly have, it looks like it's blocked 3389, says that it's discovered to be open. So hang on a sec, let me go back there and I'm going to turn around here and I'm going to block that one computer here. Let me put this on pause again. Okay, I went over there and I just turned the firewall on. It was completely off. Let's rescan it and see what the results are. Looks like there's less ports open on it, or it's having trouble scanning the other ones. So it looks like there's only 3 open now. Let's go back and let me turn it back off. Okay, hang on here a sec. All right, now I turn the firewall off. Let's see how it responds now. See what kind of results we get. It says that there's only 3 ports open, I believe. It's 135, 139, and 445. So let's rescan again. As you can tell by that result, there's definitely more ports that are open than the last set. I believe it's finished scanning what it looks like to me. Yep. So just so you got an overview of just turning on the firewall, let's go under this hosts setting, ports and hosts. Let's go back in here and let's shut that down. Let me pause it again. Let me go over and turn the firewall back on. All right, let's scan it again. Now it looks like it's done scanning. I still see the same ports open as ports and hosts, but if I look back on this list, you can see that there's a shorter list here. There's only 3 of them that are actually showing to be open now. So you guys kind of get an idea of how to block the ports and how it works, and here's another scanning utility to do it. So please spend as much time as you can to learn these tools, because it's going to be something that you're going to use quite often out in the field to remove, to open, and close ports. And this is definitely a good learning exercise. So thank you for joining us, and I hope you have enjoyed doing the lab. You can do this on any home computer, on a firewall that's on Windows Vista and 7 and up. It will work on XP, but it's a little different. It's a little bit different menu. And we're going to go over that when we start the new mod, which is 150. We'll start going over Windows XP. All right, guys, thank you very much. Talk to you later now.